history is full of firsts.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Many of those firsts shaped our way of life. For 70 years, KPRC Channel 2 has been proud to be pioneers in shaping television and Houston history.
Midday, Casas, Texas. Everyone can enjoy.
Calls in the storms Thursday. Minutes before 9 o'clock, the crew's here telling her.
This is the first time in a long they had 11. As soon as some of your
Isn't it good to work for a place that has a sense of history? And indeed it is.
See, taking the president from Spring to College Station, fellas.
If you have something you'd like Channel 2 Investigates to check out, call the tip line at 713-223-TIPS or email investigates@click2houston.com. Live from KPRC, this is Channel 2 News Midday.
Right now at midday, down to the wire, Democratic candidates are crisscrossing the Granite State to drum up support before the New Hampshire primary. What a new poll is saying about how the candidates stack up.
Plus, coronavirus crisis. Things are reaching the breaking point in China as the death toll has exceeded the deaths from SARS. The additional case is now reported on a cruise ship that has been quarantined.
And a live look outside for you at the Southwest Freeway. It's warm and muggy out there. Meteorologist Britta Merwin will tell us what else we can expect. But we begin with breaking news out of Southwest Houston, where Houston police are investigating a homicide. Good morning and thanks for joining us. I'm Sion Rhodes.
And I'm Christine Noel. There are a few details available in this case right now, but we do know that officers are on Parcel 3 near Holmes Road. That is where we find Channel 2 Vincent Crivelli with the latest developments on this. Vince?
Yeah, Christine, good morning. We just arrived on scene. Let me show you guys what's going on. This area is inundated with police officers. You can see crime scene tape is up as officers are paying special attention to a ditch on the right side of the road. Now, this is an industrial area, and this road doesn't appear to be well traveled. To the left and right are concrete mixing facilities. Investigators say around 9 o'clock this morning, they received a report that a man was found dead in the ditch. Detectives say preliminary information suggests the man was shot. At the moment, we have no information on a possible suspect, and right now I'm working to get more information from authorities. Stay tuned. For now, reporting live in Southwest Houston, Vincent Crivelli, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Vincent, thank you. Princess Cruises has announced that an additional 66 cases of the novel coronavirus have been confirmed aboard one of its ships, which is already quarantined in a Japanese harbor. That brings the number of infected people on the ship to 130, or at least 24 Americans have tested positive. NBC's Molly Hunter has the latest.
Overnight on the Diamond Princess, the number of positive coronavirus cases doubling.
We are definitely not safe on this ship, and we need to be evacuated while some of us are still healthy.
Not everyone on board has been tested.
The only test we've received has been one thermometer check a week ago for 30 seconds.
75-year-old Gate Quarter tells us passengers are being asked to take their own temperatures 3 to 4 times a day. But Rebecca Frazier, now in the hospital for her 3rd day, says she never showed symptoms before testing positive.
They check my vitals very often throughout the day because I had a little bit of a temperature when I got here, but that's gone.
Over the weekend, the first American death, a 60-year-old in Wuhan. Today, a huge test. In China's biggest cities, deserted for the last few weeks, millions head back to work after the extended Lunar New Year. In Hong Kong now, a mandatory quarantine for all travelers from the mainland and jail time threatened for those who evade it. But Gate Carter says the quarantine on board the Diamond Princess isn't working.
We all need to be tested, at least do the Americans on board. Our government needs to step up. It's time to come for us now.
Now, the WHO says not to pay too much attention to numbers. They may ebb and flow, kind of peter and spike, and we may not have seen the peak of it yet. Molly Hunter, NBC News, Hong Kong.
All right, turning now to our weather. It is a warm, muggy start to the week, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of muggy in here, too. We're feeling it everywhere.
Is it warm in here, Brenda? Yeah, I was going to say, I stepped outside and whew, the hair grew like two sizes.
An experiment.
Yeah, exactly, an experiment. Everybody gets to enjoy it, so have fun with that. So right now, it definitely is very warm and muggy out there. I mean, you can almost see the humidity on the lens. This is a live look at our Kaplan Sinus relief camera. Temperatures across the area generally in the 70s, but it kind of depends on where you're at. So take a look at the showers that are popping up on Exact Track radar. Literally sprinkles here in the metro area, but we have a few showers off to the north and west, and farther up to the north rolling through Crockett. We've had a few thunderstorms throughout the day. We have a cold front that's parked right to the north of us, and we're triggering those showers and storms right along the front itself. It is slowly going to move down to the south, and that's going to open up the opportunity for more showers as we go into the afternoon. But I think most of the action that we're going to see today is going to be off to the north and west. That will also dictate what you're going to feel outside temperature-wise. Behind the front is Bryan and College Station. Temperatures are in the upper 50s. Compare that to Navasota, Tomball, Houston. We're all in the 70s. So as long as that stays off to the north and west, we're going to stay warm and muggy, which will hold true for us. But if you live in Navasota, Brenham, it's possible that you could cool down if that front sinks farther down to the south today. It's going to meander for today and tomorrow, so we're going to keep it warm and muggy here in Houston. About a 40 to 60% chance of rainfall depending on where you live. So I'll take a look at those rain chances depending on where you live in Southeast Texas and what we're expecting for the remainder of the work week coming up next. Over to you.
All right, Breda, thank you. And remember, you at home can track the temperatures whenever you want. Just download Frank's free forecast weather app. Search KPRC in your app store. The 17-year-old girl now charged as an adult in connection to the death of a Lamar High School student went before a judge today. Kiana Mouton is accused of luring DeLindsey Mack to his death back in November of 2018. Channel 2's Taisha Walker was in the courtroom and joining us live from downtown Houston with more on this. Taisha?
Yeah, 16-year-old murder suspect Kiana Mouton made her first appearance in court today after being charged as an adult. Mouton stood before a judge today wearing an orange jumpsuit and handcuffs. We know that a judge found probable cause today and set bond conditions. So she, if she is able to post her $450,000 bond, she'll have to wear a GPS monitor, stay under house arrest, and she cannot have contact with her co-defendants, known gang members. Prosecutors say Mouton was texting and video chatting with one of the men who shot and killed DeLindsey Mack in November of 2018. They say she was walking with Mack and another girl near Lamar High School and abandoned them right before two men drove up and began shooting. Mack's mother was also in court today, very emotional, holding back tears. We know that Mouton's attorney says they'll have to get more information about this case in order to speak to her possible involvement. Meanwhile, the state declined to comment. Reporting live from downtown, Taisha Walker, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Taisha, thank you. We're getting a look at the moment a vehicle crashed into another car before bursting into flames, killing 3 people. Surveillance video just released in the crash that happened in northwest Harris County. You can see a vehicle coming from the right of your screen, blowing through the intersection at Antoine and Beltway 8, crashing into another car that then went in flames. According to police, Gregory Smith, the driver accused of causing the crash, admitted to smoking PCP before driving. He is still in the hospital. Smith now charged with 3 counts of intoxication manslaughter.
Police have arrested one person after a kidnapping and deadly shooting in southeast Houston. They say that person shot and killed a man and then kidnapped the victim's girlfriend. It happened near MLK Boulevard and Van Fleet Street. Officers later found the two in Clear Lake. We're told the woman is safe. So far, police have not identified a motive or a suspect.
Police have now filed charges in a shooting that sent one man to the hospital. Police looking for Gerald Washington. The 26-year-old is charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. He's accused of shooting Reginald Larry in southeast Houston yesterday. Police say Larry was leaving a convenience store on Scott Street when Washington pulled up in a pickup truck and started shooting. Larry was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Washington last seen driving a red 2006 Dodge Durango.
We've got an update on a deadly shooting we first told you about yesterday. 25-year-old Julio Ventura is now charged with murder in connection to a shooting on Colony Heath in Valle Cove Lane. According to investigators, Ventura shot and killed 30-year-old Pedro Fraga while he was sitting in his car. He ran away, but police eventually took him into custody.
Deputies still looking for a possible third suspect after a robbery where the business owner fought back. We know one robber was shot and taken to the hospital, and a woman was detained. It happened at 3:45 this morning on Cinnamon Drive in the Katy Freeway. Deputies say the owner of an auto parts store saw his business being robbed and shot one of the suspects. That robber is expected to survive. 2 Americans killed in an attack in Afghanistan.
Coming up, one of the soldiers is from Texas. What we're learning about him.
Plus, the stakes could not be higher in New Hampshire. The last-minute pushes from the Democratic candidates vying to be president. In our Decision 2020 coverage, New Hampshire is at the center of the political world. The Democratic candidates are barnstorming the state ahead of tomorrow's primary, and new polls show Bernie Sanders and Pete Buttigieg are building on their momentum from Iowa. NBC's Kristen Welker is in Manchester.
Candidates are making their final frantic pitch to voters today, each making their case at multiple events across the Granite State.
To dream big, fight hard, and win.
Overnight, the Iowa Democratic Party released updated caucus results showing former Mayor Pete Buttigieg in the lead with 14 delegates and Senator Bernie Sanders with 12. And while the results are not yet official, Buttigieg is trying to capitalize.
This is, I think, what winning feels like.
But Buttigieg's strong showing in Iowa is opening him up to increased attacks from his rivals. Senator Sanders again accusing him of being too cozy with Wall Street.
Pete has raised campaign contributions from over 40 billionaires.
Buttigieg responding that Democrats cannot exclude anyone if they want to win the White House.
This guy's not a Barack Obama.
Buttigieg firing back on Sunday.
Well, he's right. I'm not, and neither is he.
Biden, who is currently in 4th place in Iowa and trailing in New Hampshire polls, getting emotional, talking about his late son, Beau, and the fight ahead.
I lost my son, cancer, but I'll be damned if I'm going to stand by and lose my country. It will not happen.
Senator Amy Klobuchar is gaining momentum after a strong debate performance.
That was NBC's Kristen Welker reporting. A new poll from the Boston Globe shows a competitive race with Sanders and Buttigieg vying for the top spot. Sanders is in first with 27%, Buttigieg second with 19%, Klobuchar in third place with 14%, and that's up 8 points after her strong performance at the debate. Battling for fourth place, Biden and Warren, who are tied at 12%.
We are learning more about 2 U.S. Army soldiers ambushed in Afghanistan over the weekend. Officials say the attack that killed Sergeant First Class Javier Gutierrez from San Antonio and Sergeant First Class Antonio Rodriguez in New Mexico was carried out by someone in an Afghan uniform. It is unknown if the gunman was actually a member of the Afghan army. 1 Afghan soldier was killed. 6 other American soldiers were wounded.
Now to the latest in that assassination attempt of police officers in New York City. The gunman now in custody had a criminal past. That gunman opening fire on 2 officers inside a patrol van Saturday. Authorities say Officer Paul Strofolino was shot in the chin and the neck. Sunday, dozens of officers surrounded him, saluting and cheering as he was wheeled out of the hospital. 12 hours later, officials say that same gunman walked into the 41st Precinct headquarters and began shooting at officers again, striking a lieutenant in the arm. The suspect then placed his gun on the ground and surrendered.
This just in, students at Hyde Elementary School are being released early. That's due to a power outage. Parents can pick up their kids at the gym doors. Students will be supervised until the parents arrive. It is unclear at this point when the power will be restored.
Trouble in the friendly skies. Mother Nature not playing nicely in England. A British Airways plane forced to abort a landing at London's Heathrow Airport after hurricane-force winds prevented pilots from making a safe landing. The aircraft momentarily touched the runway before throttling the jet into takeoff mode again. But the plane did land safely on a second attempt.
Turning to our forecast now. Did you guys have a great weekend?
I did.
Was you?
Beautiful on Saturday.
I know, it really was nice.
Sunday got a little murky, right?
But it was one day that was nice.
Exactly.
And then this morning, it's quite muggy out there.
Yeah, definitely. Very, very humid. Mild as well, so we'll have temperatures above average for this time of year for the entire day. We're not even really getting cool off in the overnight hours. So we're at 77 degrees downtown, mid-70s on the southwest side. And look at Galveston, very foggy. So we have some sea fog mixing in. We're going to keep it pretty murky for today and tomorrow. And we do have a chance of rain. So if you're just about to leave your door, grab your umbrella on your way out just so you are prepared. The best chance of rain, though, will be northwest of downtown. We have this cold front that's sneaking in from the north. It's going to kind of park itself in our northwest counties, but it is going to be wiggling throughout the day and throughout tomorrow. And that's going to bring in that chance of showers and thunderstorms. So right now, it really is to the north of us. But as it wiggles down to the south and also with the heat of the day, we can see some showers popping up to the south of that front. Big temperature difference behind the front and ahead of the front. So we're in the 50s right now in Austin, also in the 50s for College Station. You get to Brenham, you're 20 degrees warmer. So there's a big difference there. We're going to keep it warm and muggy today here in Houston. We're going to stay south of the front. It'll be in the mid-70s, breezy, very humid, and a few showers are possible. Again, the rain chance is going to go up the farther you live off to the north and west. You can see that on our Futurecast model, but you can also see that that boundary is going to move north and south throughout the day, kind of making that wiggling motion. So temperatures behind it will be considerably cooler. We'll keep it about a 40 to 50% chance of rainfall throughout the day and tonight as that cold front kind of makes its move down to the south. Tomorrow it's making a little bit new move up to the north, and it's just going to hang around southeast Texas for the next 2 days. The change takes place on Wednesday. That's when a stronger system moves in from the west, finally kickstarts everything out to the east. It is going to come with a round of thunderstorms, but the payoff is clear and dry weather for the end of the work week. So today, tomorrow, Wednesday, kind of all the same. It's going to be murky, warm, and humid. Wednesday's probably going to be the rainiest day for us here in the metro area when the cold front actually does move through southeast Texas. So over the next 3 days, we're anticipating about an inch and a half of rainfall for us here in the metro area. Notice how it goes up dramatically to the north of Harris County. That's because the front for today and tomorrow is kind of hanging out in this area, elevating those rain chances. If you live at the coast, maybe a quarter of an inch of rainfall. So it's all about location, location, location. There's a full look at that 10-day forecast. Again, we keep it pretty unsettled for the next few days. Everyone will see showers and thunderstorms on Wednesday with the cold front actually pushing through, and then we'll cool things off and dry it out as we get into Thursday and Friday. And right now for Valentine's Day, it's going to be nice, a little on the cool side, but beautiful sunshine. Good day to snuggle up, right?
Probably folks at home going, Friday is Valentine's Day.
Right, exactly. Just a little friendly reminder. I know. I got to go get Valentine's Day cards for the kids.
For the kids, yeah. What about the little sweetheart candies?
Oh, they like chocolate.
Aren't those coming back?
Classic.
Yeah, they are. I like the messages, but they're chocolate.
Yeah,
I love chocolate.
No, I hear you. Okay, so that's on Friday, and the forecast is looking nice that day, sunny.
It is, yeah. Nice and cool and dry.
All right, Britta, thank you.
Thanks. All right, prices taking a tumble at the pump. Coming up, what's behind the price drop?
I'm consumer expert Amy Davis. What do actors Ice-T and Tori Spelling and the Houston Arboretum all have in common? They are all giving you unique Valentine's Day gift ideas. Coming up, 5 unique gifts you can share with your special someone.
Welcome back. In consumer news, you may have noticed that the price of the pump is going down. New data shows gas has dropped an average of 7 cents nationwide over the past 2 weeks to $2.53 a gallon. Analysts say that's largely due to falling oil prices. Gas is still about 19 cents higher than this time a year ago.
When it comes to smartwatches, the Apple Watch was the top seller for 2019. In fact, it outsold the entire Swiss watch industry. That's according to research firm Strategy Analytics. Apple shipped nearly 31 million units, while Swiss watchmakers, including Swatch and gosh, help me out with this one. Tagwar. Thank you. I always get that one wrong.
Right, Justin?
Only shipping about 21 million units.
All right.
I know Swatch from the 80s.
Yes, I know. There we go. All right. So today is National Clean Out Your Computer Day, and sometimes they need a good cleaning. Files, photos, videos, and music accumulate over time and then slow down your device. Cleaning out doesn't necessarily mean deleting forever, though. Just consider moving items that you want to keep to an external hard drive or one of those USB storage sticks. All right, Valentine's Day, as we mentioned, is this Friday.
Oh, yeah. So if you still haven't found a gift for your honey, consumer expert Amy Davis here to keep you out of the doghouse.
You have 4 days to come up with a gift that doesn't look like you waited to the last minute to make your significant other feel loved. So now I present to you 5 memorable gifts and experiences that'll make your sweetheart swoon.
Hi, John. How are you? It's Tori.
You can send a personalized video greeting from Tori Spelling, Ice-T.
Hey, what's up, Howie? Ice-T, Jack. You know what I'm saying?
Or choose from dozens of actors, entertainers, and celebrities. Pay top dollar $2,500 for a custom shout-out from Caitlyn Jenner, or as little as $5 for some lesser-known reality TV stars. Who are these people?
If this whole idea is just not your reality, what about booking a date night for Saturday? Tapas on the Trail at the Houston Arboretum includes a softly lit walk through the nature sanctuary, pausing along the way for a romantic 4-course meal paired with beer, wine, and nitrogen ice cream for dessert. Tickets are $95 each. Or skip the hike, but buy the wine. Houston Wine Merchant will curate and assemble a sampler's case made with all red, all white, or a mix of both. Cases start at $120 for 12 bottles and go up to $240. And for as little as $20, Houston Wine Merchant will deliver the case right to your door. Nothing soothes like a massage. If a fancy day spa is not in the cards, book a massage at a training school. There are 5 of them in our area, from Champions Forest in Spring to Southwest Houston to the Upper Kirby area, offering student massages that start at $33 an hour. Or make dinner more of an experience with a date night cooking class. You can still get in on some this weekend or find a cuisine you like and book the class for later. On Click to Houston, we are linking you to all of the massage schools, cooking classes, and other ideas we mentioned here. I'm consumer expert Amy Davis, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Turning now to the future of space, Boeing faces another blow this week, but this time to its new spacecraft. The new problem has been found with Boeing's Starliner. The problem involves software, but it's unclear what exactly the problem is. The issue comes after a clock issue in December caused a test flight to stumble off course. NASA is not saying whether more unmanned tests will be needed.
The Rockets hosting the Jazz last night, but this wasn't a game to write home about. Despite Russell Westbrook scoring 39 and James Harden scoring 28, things did not go their way in the second half. The Jazz escaping the Toyota Center on a huge 3-point buzzer beater, 114 to 113. Rockets looking for a rebound now when they host the Celtics tomorrow night at 8:30.
Ahead at midday, a Channel 2 News Investigates exclusive. 1
year after it was released by the Catholic Church, we want to know, where are all the priests on the so-called credibly accused list? KPRC 2's Robert Arnold takes a look.
I'm health reporter Haley Hernandez. How the way you lay at night affects your health during the day. Details on the aches and pains you may feel if you sleep in a certain position. That's coming up.
And getting a live look now outside from our tower camera. It is cloudy. It is kind of murky and warm out there. Meteorologist Justin Stapleton will have a look at your forecast coming up after the break.
Delivered. Live from KPRC, this is Channel 2 News Midday.
Here's a look at some of the morning's other big stories. The man accused of killing 3 people in a fiery crash could appear in court this week.
Yeah, Gregory Smith is still in the hospital with a broken leg as well as other injuries. Deputies say that he blew through a red light at Antoine and Beltway 8 in Northwest Harris County and then slammed into another vehicle. Smith is charged with 3 counts of intoxication manslaughter, but those charges could be upgraded.
Australian researchers say they found a breakthrough to more quickly contain the coronavirus. Experts say they were able to grow live coronavirus cells, providing more diagnostic accuracy than synthetic cells. Their work will be able to help diagnose infected patients faster and more accurately. The coronavirus has so far killed more than 900 people and infected more than 40,000. Passengers on board a quarantine cruise ship are facing some bad news. At least 65 new cases of coronavirus have been found on the Diamond Princess. It's currently docked in Yokohama, Japan. That brings the total number of infections on board to 135. Some people have been taken to hospitals, but thousands are still on the ship under lockdown. Passengers are set to disembark February 19th when the quarantine lifts.
Unstoppable forces are creating catastrophes across the country. Winter weather causing quite the mess in the west. In Utah, an avalanche triggered by state crews in Utah, taking out everything in its path, shutting down several mountain roads. And in Colorado, whiteout conditions spawned treacherous driving conditions, shutting down nearly 50 miles of the interstate.
You can barely see that car that is only about 15 feet away from me.
All this wind was blowing. I didn't see anything, and I was stopping, and the car was moving this way till it stopped over there.
High winds and heavy snow have been so dangerous, even ski resorts are shutting down.
And in Washington State and Oregon, roads turning to rivers as raging floods engulf entire communities. Heavy rains and warmer temperatures melting sitting snow and triggering dangerous, destructive, fast-moving floodwaters. Residents now wondering when it's going to end.
This is the worst we've ever seen.
This keeps up for another 2 or 3 days, then you begin to wonder where's the water level going to stop.
It's very scary. The weather is expected to keep moving east, with areas of the deep south seeing heavy rain starting today.
Meanwhile, here closer to home, we kind of had a mixed bag this weekend, and it's kind of a gloomy, warm day out there.
And we got some rain on the way.
Oh, yeah.
As well, right, Justin?
Yeah, we do for the next couple of days. Murky is probably the best way that I like to call it. Yeah, but here's the problem is that this front is just kind of set right between Dallas and Houston. And as Britta mentioned a few minutes ago, it's not going to move much. It's going to sit there and just kind of waggle back and forth, only about 30, 40 miles, and that's about it. But this big bullseye, you can see all these black boxes. These are all flood warnings that have popped up across the states of both Mississippi, Alabama, into Tennessee. And then as we jump in a little tighter, we've got snow out West Texas, so it's going to be a very active couple of days. But here is our front, basically positioned up and towards the Brazos. I do think we'll see some scattered showers today, but because we're on the south side of that front, it's mainly just going to be really muggy and murky and with some occasional rain and not a lot of sunshine, at least today, tomorrow, and certainly as we get in towards Wednesday. We'll talk about the transition here in a couple of minutes. Look at the snow starting to pop just south of Amarillo around Lubbock. Some pretty nasty driving conditions, I would say, from Wichita Falls all the way over towards the border into New Mexico. So if you got to travel that way, it's not going to be pretty over the next couple of days. Decent amount of sea fog down on the seawall as well. Gets better as you get inland off of there, but 71 degrees and the humidity, the dew points at about 69. That's got the humidity almost at 100%. That's why the fog is out there. 2-mile visibility officially. Everybody else doing A-OK, but we're going to have to keep a watch on things. You want to see where the front is? Look at this. Bryan College Station, 59. 73 in Navasota. Everyone else in the mid-70s as well. We'll talk about timing for the rest of this afternoon in terms of any kind of rainfall. And also, I'm going to tell you when all these numbers finally start to move out and we get a little bit of drier, certainly less humid air as we head in towards the back half of the work week forecast.
Justin, thank you. Remember, you can track your forecast anytime you want. All you have to do is download Frank's free forecast weather app. Just search KPRC in your Apple or Android app store. 1 year ago, the Galveston-Houston Archdiocese released its list of priests who were credibly accused of abuse. Some of the abuse happening long ago, and some of those priests have since died.
But others are still being taken care of by the church, though exactly where there isn't clear. And as Channel 2 investigator Robert Arnold reports, that's a problem for some abuse victims.
This is a breaking news alert.
I'm joining you right now because the Archdiocese has just released a long-awaited and long-promised list.
A year ago, there was a hope for justice for the victims of clergy sexual abuse.
There are 42 names on the list, and we're going to begin with John Keller.
We want to substantiate what those young people who suffered, with the victims, with the survivors. That's what today is all about.
But 1 year later, what has come of these revelations? That over 40 priests from the Galveston-Houston Archdiocese were accused of the unthinkable. Where are they? The victims were promised healing, support, and transparency.
We at SNAP are calling for true transparency, not the opaque transparency of a stained glass window from a church in denial.
Eduardo Lopez de Casas is a co-leader of a Houston support group for victims of clergy abuse. He grew up in the church, almost never missing a Sunday, even in his darkest times.
I was abused over 40 years ago, and I never left the church.
Eduardo went to work in the church as a music director, most recently at Prince of Peace in Tomball.
The amazing thing is that when I went to work there, I did not know anything about the person that was to become my boss, which was John Keller.
Keller was removed from the church the same day his name appeared on this list. The Archdiocese has kept mum about Keller's whereabouts, and the same for the others on the list, leaving parishioners and victims guessing.
What that means to me is there are places like the Fiorenza Retirement Home for priests here, which the diocese funds.
Channel 2 Investigates looked into history of that retirement center, which is one of several buildings on a campus next door to Herman Park and the Medical Center. We found a few credibly accused priests connected to that address. Charles Schopp, accused of abuse, same as Dennis Lynch. We found his name on a 2014 newsletter wishing him a happy birthday. And Anthony Stredney and Dennis Peterson's names surfaced in old white page listings. The Archdiocese tells us none of the priests on the credibly accused list live there now, and no current priest residents are the subject of any criminal investigation or pending charges of any kind. But one priest that is under criminal investigation is Father Manuel La Rosa Lopez. We went looking for him, too. According to court documents, La Rosa Lopez lives here in this suburban Southeast Houston neighborhood. And according to these property records, the house is owned by the Archdiocese. That house is also just a few feet away from a school zone. Chris Feldman is a Houston civil lawyer who's handled several church abuse cases.
The church should take it upon itself to make sure that predator priests are nowhere near children. It's a no-brainer.
But the district attorney tells us Father Manuel isn't violating any conditions of his bond.
As long as there is accessibility, there is vulnerability. And even though that's not in the bond, and that is quite unfortunate.
So 1 year after this list was released, what relief can victims find? After decades of loyalty, Eduardo left his parish.
I think that my ties have finally been broken. It does not mean that I'm not Catholic. I was always told by my mother, God is everywhere.
Late today, the Archdiocese of Galveston-Houston did talk to us about why the church continues to support priests deemed credibly accused of abuse. It's a debate within the church, but we are told it comes down to the code of canon law.
The law is very clear that when someone gives themselves over to the priesthood, at that point, the church takes on a responsibility to care for them for the rest of their life. And while it doesn't mean that bishops like doing it, it means that they're bound to uphold the laws themselves. And if they were to disregard these laws, if they were to disregard what Rome tells them to do, then they themselves would be liable to penalties as well.
When we asked if that same code of canon law applies to priests convicted of abuse, we were told yes, it does. As for Father Manuel La Rosa Lopez, his trial is scheduled for March. Robert Arnold, KPRC, Channel 2 Investigates.
The Oscars were full of surprises, even making history.
Yeah, ahead, a look back at the big night and how Academy Awards honored Kobe Bryant and how a Houston area teen who was suspended from school over his hair got the red carpet treatment.
First, though, a live look at Wall Street and everything in the green. In this morning's entertainment news, it was a milestone night of the Academy Awards Sunday night. Something that had never happened before did, and everyone is talking about it today. Stephanie Stanton has a look.
Parasite. History at the Oscars Sunday night. The South Korean satire Parasite became the first foreign language film to win Best Picture.
We never imagined this to ever happen. We are so happy.
It capped a night that saw Parasite win 3 other Oscars: Best International Film, Original Screenplay, and Best Director for Bong Joon-ho.
Thank you. I will drink until next morning. Thank you.
No surprises in the acting categories.
Joaquin Phoenix, Joker.
The title role in Joker brought Joaquin Phoenix his first Oscar as Best Actor.
God, I'm full of so much gratitude right now.
It was the second Oscar for Renee Zellweger, Best Actress for playing film legend Judy Garland in Judy.
Miss Garland, you are certainly among the heroes who unite and define us, and this is certainly for you.
Best Supporting Actress went to Laura Dern for Marriage Story, and she saluted her actor parents, Bruce Dern and Diane Ladd.
Some say never meet your heroes, but I say if you're really blessed, you get them as your parents.
Brad Pitt struck a political note in accepting supporting actor honors for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
They told me I only have 45 seconds up here, which is 45 seconds more than the Senate gave John Bolton this week.
Other winners included longtime collaborators Elton John and Bernie Taupin for Best Original Song from Rocket Man, and Hair Love as Best Animated Short. Its writer-director, former NFL player Matthew Cherry, paid tribute to the man who won the award 2 years ago for Dear Basketball.
This award is dedicated to Kobe Bryant. May we all have a second act as great as his was.
Sunday's Oscars full of emotion and history-making moments. Stephanie Stanton, NBC News, Hollywood.
Well, once the Academy Awards are over, there's a task that awaits all of the winners going to the Governor's Ball that immediately follows the big show. 1,500 bottles of champagne and 1,200 bottles of wine awaited them, along with a menu prepared by Wolfgang Puck's team of 200 chefs. It also is the chance for the Oscar winners to celebrate together as they wait for their awards to be engraved.
And the Oscars did pay tribute to NBA legend Kobe Bryant and the others killed in a helicopter crash 2 weeks ago. Spike Lee, who's a big New York Knicks fan, wore a custom purple and gold suit with Bryant's number 24 on full display. The Academy also paying tribute to the NBA legend by starting the memoriam segment with a picture and quote from Bryant as Billie Eilish performed a cover of the Beatles yesterday. The Roots' Questlove speaking about Kobe on the red carpet.
He's a fellow Philadelphian. He's my Philadelphian brother. And, you know, he was one of the greatest ball players ever, and I'm sad that the last chapter of his life was cut short, like developing his family skills, his daughter especially as a ball player. It just saddens me, and this is a sad time for all of us.
And as we mentioned, Bryant did in fact win an Academy Award for his animated short film called Dear Basketball in 2018.
Local teenager DeAndre Arnold was able to hit the Oscars runway alongside the team from Hair Love. He's been battling to keep his dreadlocks after being told by Barbers Hill ISD that he would have to cut them in order to walk in his graduation. Hair Love won its Oscar, and DeAndre got a once-in-a-lifetime shout-out.
There's a very important issue that's out there. It's the Crown Act, and if we can help to get this passed in all 50 states, it will help stories like DeAndre Arnold, who's our special guest tonight, stop to happen.
For those who don't know, the Crown Act is an effort to create a respectful and open world for natural hair and to protect against discrimination. Get a glimpse back at Hollywood's biggest night on our website at click2houston.com. There you'll find a list of the winners and check out the fashion from the red carpet.
Rodeo Houston's 71st Pony Express expected to make its way to the state capitol today at noon. Harris County deputies will hand-deliver invitations to the rodeo to Governor Abbott and other state leaders. The officers set out from NRG Park yesterday.
Now to get your daily dose of cuteness, because who doesn't need that? A zoo in Mexico is celebrating the arrival of 3 little lion cubs. The cubs, 2 boys and 1 girl, were born at the zoo last month and appear to be doing just fine. They are healthy cubs. They will eventually find homes in other zoos when they are older to help conserve their species.
1, 2, 3. Ah.
Look at the little Simbas.
There you go.
Yes.
They're cute.
And Nala.
Well.
There's a Nala.
So, and a Nala, that's right. Getting back to the trail ride, we always talk about, with rodeo, it's like, okay, when's that cold snap coming? Well, I looked at the extended forecast, and there's one out there. Now, again, a lot of changes, but if
it's looming.
I was going to say,
it's looming.
Right on time. Must be getting close to rodeo if we're going to get that. And that may be our last big push of cold air, too. It's getting late into wintertime here, folks, and you know what that means. We don't have many chances to get a little bit of wintry, not only weather, but certainly temperatures as well. Today's not going to be that day because it is murky, kind of gross out there. Unfortunately, we're on the south side of that front, and so as long as that stays to the north of us, this is pretty much what we're going to see in our forecast, at least for today. Tomorrow, I'll show you, could see brief changes to it before we get back into it on Wednesday. Right now, though, 78 in Katy. I mean, that is pretty warm for this time of year. Right around 64, 65 is what the temperature should be out in Katy for just about everybody else. Same thing, but we're all well into the 70s with one exception. As you get up towards Bryan College Station, notice they're at 59 degrees. You play the game, where's the cold front? There it is. Almost a, 15-degree temperature difference between Brenham, Navasota, and as you get up towards the Brazos Valley. So the front's hanging out just to the northwest of us. Otherwise, we're going to continue to see all of that south wind pushing all that sea fog and a lot of moisture, that mugginess that's out there. And there's that front. You can see the north wind on the north side of that, south wind on the south side, and the divider line between that is our cold front. And that's where the drier air is too. Not for us. Unfortunately, we're stuck with these dew points that are approaching 70 degrees, and that's when it kind of gets into that stickiness factor, and you know it if you're out there. Not only that, look at the other temperatures across the state. I showed you the snow that's starting to try to develop up near Amarillo and the Panhandle. 45 in Dallas right now and 76 for us here. How about 82 as you get down towards Brownsville? So very warm afternoon. We've also been talking about some of the flood potential across portions of the Arklatex moving back into the Twin States, Alabama and Mississippi. They've got flood warnings that are already out. They've been fairly saturated for a good chunk of the last, well, let's say month to a month and a half. And so this jet stream is just going to continue to pull all this moisture pressure across the state and sort of dump it right in through the Tennessee Valley, moving its way just south of there in towards Birmingham, Alabama, for example. And there's the storm that was bringing in the wet weather and some hail across Los Angeles and the Oscars last night. That's slowly going to roll around this jet stream as it does. That's eventually what will kick all of this out of here, but it's going to take a good time for that to happen. So for the rest of this afternoon, if you're up near Bryan College Station, you'll likely see showers and some thunderstorms. Further south down to the coast, it's mainly just going to be foggy and cloudy all day, but it does look like that front is going to slowly sag southward as we get into tonight and tomorrow. Now, the real question is going to be how far south does it get? This computer model wants to bring it all the way down towards the coast, which would put everybody relatively cooler and certainly a little drier for tomorrow morning. There's a couple other models that try to keep it a little further north. So I think it's going to be a real have and have-nots tomorrow. I do think we'll see a lot of showers and even some occasional thunderstorms, but temperatures are going to be the real question on what side of that front do you sit. Now, eventually, as we mentioned, this front is going to continue to sag south and move further away from us as we get in towards Wednesday, and that's because that low starts to kick on through. Once that does, we could see some action, especially early Wednesday morning. You might see some showers, heavy rain potential, and some thunderstorms, but once that front slides out of here, we're done, and we've got a much better looking Thursday and Friday. So how much rain could we see? Maybe an inch south of I-10, 2 to 3 as you get a little closer up towards the Brazos and moving in towards the Arklatex. And then, of course, there's that big bullseye that could be upwards of 6 to 8, maybe even higher amounts. And there are likely going to be some flash flood problems across portions of the deep south. So 66 for tomorrow is sort of where everyone will be close to. It's going to be one of those afternoons is what side the front you're on. And then we'll see it clear out as we get to Thursday and Friday and a much better looking forecast.
All right, Justin, sounds good. Thank you.
You bet.
All right, coming up next, the way you sleep could be leading to some problems while you try and catch your Z's. Health reporter Haley Hernandez explains coming up after the break.
Do you snore? Wake up with a dry mouth? It could mean you're not sleeping well, and it's leading to sleep problems. Health reporter Haley Hernandez explains.
A posture expert looked at all the pros and cons associated with each sleep position and found you can also eliminate these negative side effects by changing the way you lay.
Do you sleep on your stomach, back, or on your side? Which way is best? Some sleeping positions offer more benefits than others. The fetal position is the most popular way to sleep, as 47% of Americans sleep like this. While it gives your spine a rest, research shows that sleeping on your side helps to clear the waste in your brain that can lead to Alzheimer's or Parkinson's. The log position helps cut down on sleep apnea and reduces neck and back pain. But avoid lying on your stomach. Though the free fall is the second most popular position, it can lead to low back and neck pain and leads to more tossing and turning all night long. And your back isn't much better. The soldier causes not only snoring, but can also cause thickening of the carotid artery. This position is also not safe for women in late pregnancy, but it does keep your head, neck, and spine in a neutral position while also being the best position for heartburn.
If you do sleep on your stomach, your pillow height is critical to your neck health, meaning you may want to consider ditching your pillow so you don't raise your neck too high. And if you're someone who enjoys the log position, place a soft pillow or folded blanket between your knees while you rest to ease the pressure on your hips. I'm health reporter Haley Hernandez, KPRC Channel 2 News.
When you book a hotel room, you expect to pay the price at the time of purchase, but hidden fees are driving up the prices without you knowing. What's being done in Washington to change that practice?